welcome to this edition of the Midday Cast on EQUINOXE Television. Nadine, you have the first. Right, Nadine, thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us into the second segment of this newscast. The indomitable lions of Cameroon are in the search for qualification for the upcoming 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. They will be locking horns with the national team of Comoros Island today at 4 p.m. That will be in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. It should be noted that the indomitable lions of Cameroon are not yet qualified this after the 2019 hosting rights were withdrawn from the country, and the Lions, notably with the team captain Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting, saying they are confident and determined to grab a qualification for the upcoming 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, and they will be going against the Comoros Island with their heads right up as they are confident of their performance. And of course, the players of the Comoros Island national team were having their last training session yesterday in Yaoundé, and the coach, of course, and the players are equally determined and confident to go against the indomitable lions of Cameroon and grab, why not, a victory for their own qualification for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. The match will be coming up at 4 p.m. Agencies banned by the Ministry of Transport, some of them are still operational. Close to 100 agencies banned for various flaws, and Ino Senaze visited some of the companies here in the economic capital, Douala, and saw that their activities were unfolding normally. Some of them said the ministry made a mistake.
2019, the Transport Minister's measure suspending several interurban transport agencies takes immediate effect. According to the press release, these travel agencies are operating clandestinely as they denied identifying themselves administratively. 24 hours later, we descended to the field in Douala. National Voyage is one of the agencies concerned. Activities are ongoing normally. We were told the first bus kicked off in the morning. Questioning if they were violating government's order, the agency personnel note they were not notified with the decision. Visiting Guarantee Express also suspended. The response is the same. They were never notified. Esomba, Chief of Service at Guarantee Express, Douala, believes government would have simply pasted the notification or sealed the agencies as usual. He adds that it is solely the Bamenda branch that received the suspension because some technical and administrative documents were not procured. That the manager told him the Yaoundé and Douala branches had already obtained identification documents.
Il avait déjà fait pour l'agence du centre.
Every transport agency defends itself as it can. At Princess Voyage, authorities talk of an error on the part of the Minister of Transport.
Nous avons appris par la voie officielle, mais pas des rumeurs.
They say the agency had met with all requirements since announcement for identification was made.
Surtout pour l'agrément en matière de transport. Nous avons donc fourni tout ce qu'ils ont demandé.
In total, 87 interurban transport agencies are ejected from the sector by this ministerial suspension.
And in the report coming up next, Usman Jikan Gabriel comes back to the decision of the Ministry of Transport and, of course, the various transport companies concerned in the different regions of the country. His report.
Delta, Littoral and West regions are the most touched after the decision of the Minister of Transport to suspend some travel agencies in 9 out of 10 regions of Cameroon. The decision taken by Ngale Bibehejang Enes Masina, March 21, 2019, comes after an inquiry team made up of technicians within the Transport Ministry descended to the field for purposes of identification of agencies. If the Far North region had just 2 agencies suspended, just like the North region, Southwest comes with 3 suspended agencies, while the East region saw 4 travel agencies suspended. South region has 5 agencies and Northwest recorded a total of 6 agencies which were suspended. The most hit regions are the Central region with 24 agencies, Littoral region with 23 agencies, and the West region 19 agencies. According to the ministerial decision that suspended the traveling agencies, it stated they refused to identify themselves even though they were given 1 month, 15 days of grace. Only the Adamawa region escaped from the sledgehammer of the Transport Minister, Ngale Bibehejang Enes Masina.
Several localities across the Republic of Cameroon are still hit by a chronic water crisis despite government's years of commitment to solve this problem, or better still to step up water supply across the country. From the hinterlands right to the big cities, the problem of water, notably potable water, is still hitting the population, even as Cameroon celebrates the World Water Day. From Yamson Santa has more.
Access to potable water remains a major problem across Cameroon, several years after the country engaged with Millennium Development Goals, which had among other objectives water and sanitation. The difficult access to potable water with its consequent negative effects makes life difficult in both rural and urban Cameroon. In rural communities like Mbanga in the Mongo division of the Littoral region, people go for several years without potable water.
There is no water in Mbanga. It's more than 3 years today we don't have water. It's just of recent that water comes. But water comes in quarter 7. Just for a few days, and now there is no water.
In major cities like Douala, the situation is most embarrassing as inhabitants even go for longer periods without water supply, like the case of Belabu, a locality in Douala 5 subdivision.
We have not yet get water for 6 years now for Bonabu.
Cameroonians are also forced to drink from doubtful sources, exposing themselves to waterborne disease. Be it in towns or cities, poor management, coupled with inadequate political will, rapid urbanization and legislative lapses have been blamed for the water problem. Question on what it is doing within its role as provider of basic social amenities, the government through its officials in the water and energy sector, who gathered in Douala within the context of the World Water Day, believe that what Cameroonians need is sensitization.
D'abord dans l'objectif de la sensibilisation. Ça c'est le premier grand objectif.
According to Noah Evele, Littoral Regional Delegates of Water and Energy Resource, the gathering which took place in the campus of the University of Douala also had as objective to give visibility to the different actors in the water supply chain.
And in the report coming up next, our correspondent in the Northwest region, Stella, takes us into the sufferings of the people of Bamenda as a result of this same problem of water crisis. Our report.
The need for quantity and quality water has remained a huge demand by the population of Bamenda. This is due to the water crisis that has been plaguing the region for years. Despite strides made by experts in the water resources and energy sector, nothing much has changed as the results have been described as detrimental to the health of the local population.
It's really an embarrassment because at one point in the city of Bamenda there was a lot of digging every day, digging of trenches, and we later got to understand that it was to bring water because water is life. Unfortunately, after all the digging, Bamenda is still very much unsafe with water, because after the digging and the planting and the displacement of tanks and whatever, we still suffer the threat of disease from water, given us some of the water that we fetch and drink carries a lot of death, a lot of soil, sometimes so reddish that we find difficulty to cope with it.
I'm afraid to cook food, I'm afraid to wash plates. Even my child's napkin, it stains it, makes it dirty, so it's really horrible.
The demand for the precious liquid remains relatively high in households in particular and communities in general, as even the little that flows from taps leaves nothing to be desired. In all these, local inhabitants have devised ways of coping with what is supplied in order to minimize the health risks that comes with consuming water of doubtful quality.
We develop some domestic attitudes, some domestic self-methods by boiling extra. Now you fetch the water looking reddish, looking dirty, you have to let it settle sometimes, and then you boil to a certain degree and keep before you can drink. Else, water ceases to be life.
I normally work with local filter. I'm using it to filter my water. You can see it for yourself. Look at the color of the cotton inside the funnel. I've not even filtered up to a liter of water and the cotton is already dirty.
For about 2-3 years now, I'm using bottled water, and sincerely it has been helpful.
Inhabitants say for Cameroon to meet the aim of the Sustainable Development Goal number 6, which is aimed at ensuring availability and sustainable management of water for all by 2030, experts charged with the supply of water must work on the quality of water delivered to the local population.
That's it for this news edition. Thanks for staying with us, Nadine.
Yes, Babila Jonathan, fin de ce journal. Mesdames et messieurs, merci pour votre aimable attention. Vous donne rendez-vous lorsqu'il sera 20h sur Equinoxe Télévision.